In this video, I'm going to show you a concrete septic tank installation along with the full system. And if you're new to this channel, my name's Josh. The channel is all about DIY to save a ton of money, so be sure to subscribe, ring that bell so you get a notification every time I release a new video, and hammer that like button for me. That's all I ask in return for making this video. So we got a lot to go over today, so let's get started. Before beginning the excavation for the septic system, we're going to pull off where the well is located 100 feet and mark it on the ground because we cannot install the leach lines any closer than that to the well. I will be going over in great detail the leach lines in Leach Feild later on this video. Just so you know, a perk test was already done, so we know that the septic system can be installed in this area. What a perk test is a hole is dug and it measures how well the water will absorb into the ground, and if it perks well, you can do a gravity fed system like we are doing here, and if it does not perk well, you must install what's called a low pressure system, which is much more involved than what this system is. That's essentially how it works in my area, so it may be totally different in your area, so always check your local building codes before beginning any project. And also, we must be a licensed installer to install a septic system in my area. We cannot do this ourselves, so that's something important to check on if you're interested in tackling such a project, but you definitely want to make sure it's installed right, so I highly recommend that you hire a professional. The excavator is digging the trench to where the septic tank is going to sit. Once he gets to where the septic tank is going to sit, you can see he is digging much deeper in order to make room for the tank. While the excavator is digging for the tank, one thing that is important when installing a septic tank is making sure the excavation is deep enough for proper fall throughout the entire system, while also making sure that the tank is not too deep, because the deeper the tank is, the deeper the leach lines have to be in order to gravity feed properly. And also, you must be able to access the lid that's on top of the septic tank in order to service it, so those are important things to note while installing the septic tank. Here a level is being used to level off the trench in order to measure down to make sure that the hole is at the proper depth for the tank. Before completely backfilling this system after it is installed, it will need an inspection to be confirmed that it was installed properly. So in my area, the excavator or the installer is going to have to wait after the system is placed for the inspector to come by to give him the okay to backfill totally, but you'll see later in this video we still backfill some before the inspector gets there just to hold the system in place. Now that the hole is dug for the septic tank and septic chambers are now being delivered on a boom truck. The operator is going to place the septic chambers to the side before addressing the septic tank. You'll notice here the septic tank is in two separate pieces. We have a bottom and a top, and I'm going to show you exactly how that all goes together. Before lifting the bottom section of the septic tank, the operator is going to ensure that the lifting cables are placed properly around the tank before lifting it. As the septic tank is suspended in the air, the installer is going to carefully guide it down into the hole that he dug, and he's going to make sure that it's positioned properly. At this stage, communication between the operator and the installer is important to make sure the tank is lowered safely without damaging the excavated walls or the tank itself. Once the septic tank is near the bottom, the installer begins checking the position and making small adjustments to get everything lined up correctly. Even though the hole has already been dug, there's usually a little bit of fine tuning once the tank is actually in place. Here you can see the installer checking the tank to make sure it's level and make sure that it is sitting level from side to side, front to back. That is a very important step because a septic tank needs to set properly in order for the system to function properly. If the tank is out of level, it can affect the way the wastewater flows through the tank and into the rest of the septic system. Before the top section of the septic tank is installed, a thick waterproof sealant is placed around the perimeter of the bottom section of the tank. This is a black tar-like sealant that helps create a watertight connection between the top and bottom sections of the tank, and once they're compressed together, it has a watertight seal. As the boom truck operator slowly lowers the top section of the septic tank into place, the installer is going to carefully guide it from the ground to make sure everything lines up correctly. Since these concrete sections weigh several thousand pounds, every movement has to be slow and controlled to avoid damaging the tank or shifting the bottom section out of level. While the top section is suspended in the air, the installer is watching the edges closely to guide it into position so that the top half sits evenly with the lower section. As the top gets closer, the fit between both sections becomes more precise, and the installer continues to check the alignment from multiple sides before the tank is fully seated. Once everything is lined up properly, the operator will slowly lower the remaining weight onto the bottom half until the top is fully resting completely into place. With the tank now fully assembled, the installer does make a final visual inspection around the perimeter and make sure sure the top is seated evenly and positioned correctly before moving on to the next step. If you remember from the previous video when we were plumbing this house, this is the 4-inch pipe that we stubbed out to continue to the septic tank. You can see it is now extended into the pre-manufactured hole in the side of the septic tank. The pipe that is being used for this septic system is Schedule 40 4-inch PVC pipe, and the pipes that we are using in between the tank and the distribution box and the leach lines is going to be belled in, meaning there's no couplings to install the pipes together. He is now installing what's called a riser for the access point, and what that riser does is increases the elevation in which you can access the tank, which when backfilling, it's important to go ahead and place this on along with the lid so that dirt does not go down into the tank. Along with this access point, the other access point is on the other side of the tank, and if you look down into the tank, you can see it is totally hollow right now because obviously it's not been used yet, but this is where all the solids will set. Once the water inside the tank reaches the pipe, it's going to exit through the pipe here in the side, and then from this area it's going to flow down the pipe to the distribution box to where it's distributed to the leach lines. The first leach line is here to the left of the distribution box. Will then go downhill to the next leach line. They're typically not this far apart. Oftentimes they're no further than 10 feet apart, but because of the way this property laid, it had to be extended downhill further. This is a rotary laser level. The installer is using it to help establish the accurate elevations throughout the entire septic system. Since a septic system relies heavily on gravity flow, in this case, maintaining the proper pitch and elevation is extremely important because we do want fall from the distribution box to the leach lines, but we want the leach lines to remain level so that the wastewater distributes evenly throughout the entire drain field system. Let's say one side is lower than the other, then that means most of the water is going to naturally flow to that lower spot instead of spreading out evenly across the full length of the leach lines. Here the installer is using a laser receiver attached to a grade rod to check the elevation and the grade throughout the septic system installation. The receiver communicates with the rotary laser level like I showed you earlier, and it detects whether the grade rod is too high, too low, or exactly at the correct elevation. And I'll put a link to this rotary laser level in the description below if you'd like to check it out for yourself. The installer is connecting together the septic chambers. They are designed to lock together end to end, creating a long underground trench that make up the drain field system. Each chamber section connects directly to the next one, allowing the installer to quickly assemble the leach field while maintaining a continuous path for the wastewater to flow through the system. Once the wastewater leaves the septic tank, it flows into these chambers and begins dispersing into the surrounding soil below. At the end of each leach line, an end cap is installed on the final septic chamber to close off the end of the system. The installer is placing dirt around the end of the leach line to help hold everything securely in place before the inspection takes place. Since the chambers are lightweight, adding a small amount of soil around the ends help prevent any movement or shifting. However, the rest of the leach field must remain open so that the inspector can inspect it properly. In order to connect the distribution box to the leach lines, a 4-inch pipe is going to be placed into the distribution box and then elbowed down into this leach line in this case, and the hole did need to be cut in the end cap in order to make the connection. The pre-manufactured holes inside of the distribution box, as you can see here, do have to be knocked out whichever hole you're going to use, and there's a rubber seal that's going to go around the pipe when it slides in for a watertight connection. Here's the belled in pipe that I was explaining earlier to continue the runs. After the pipe is marked to length, the installer is going to use a reciprocating saw in order to make the cut. The installer is using heavy-duty PVC cement to make the connection between the pipes, and as he places this into the belled end of the other pipe, the other installer is going to tap it into position. The pipe is then slid into the end cap of the leach line to make the connection. The pipes that are exiting the septic tank and the distribution box have a 2% slope on them, which ends up being about a 1/4 inch per foot fall, just like when we installed the plumbing inside of the house. With the lid placed back onto the distribution box, he is able to backfill around the box, and this helps stabilize the pipes that are going into the box and prevents the pipe elevations from shifting, which is important before installing the flow control inserts. After removing the lid, he's going to place the flow control inserts, which are the yellow pieces that you see here, into the ends of the pipes that are going to exit the distribution box. These inserts are held into the pipe by friction, and they're easily adjusted by turning them, and the idea here is we want the water to flow into the leach lines evenly. We do not want more water going into one over the other, and because of that, we're going going to fill up the box with water. Then the installer is going to turn the inserts in order to have the flow even on both sides. So essentially the water placed in the distribution box is acting as a water level, and that's going to give us a reference point in order to turn the inserts to. And once they're exactly the same, they are set, and they will stay that way unless there is some type of settlement down the road and this box needs to be re-entered and adjusted. But again, that's going to be something that you hope you don't have to do eventually, but it's definitely a possibility. Now that the flow control inserts are installed, we can place the lid back over the distribution box and backfill around this area after inspection. Note the pipe he's placing beside the box. I'll explain more on that in just a moment. Now that we have the whole area backfilled, obviously this is going to have to settle over the next month or two before the final grading. Then after that's done, this white pipe is still going to be stubbed up through the ground, so that way we can easily locate the distribution box. So it's very essential that you know where that is, simply because if there ever is an issue with it, you know exactly where it's at. Now that the septic tank is backfilled over, you still want to be careful not to drive in this area with a heavy truck, because you could go right through that tank. But we still want to keep this green lid above the grade slightly so that it's always visible, so we know where the tank is. And years down the road, whenever this tank needs pumped out, here's where they will access it, pump the tank out, then put the lid right back on. So very important to be cautious of this area long term. If you'd like to see the video where we installed a plastic septic tank system, check out this video. It'll help you out.